OpenOffice Calc, calculations with dates and times. We're going to start off by looking at how to do a calculation with dates. So here we've got members of a book club, the date on which they joined the club, and then we want to work out how many days they have been a member at a certain point. Okay, so they're going to have their annual meeting on the 5th of August. So we want to work out on the 5th of August how many days they have been members of this club. So to do this, I'm going to go to cell D3. I'm going to type in equals. Then you always take the end date or the last date, in this case the 5th of August, and then you're going to deduct the day on which they joined. Right, then press enter, and that will give you how many days they have been members of this club. It's very important that if you're going to use the autofill, to just make sure that cell B9 is an absolute cell reference, because you don't want that cell reference to change as you copy it down. And in OpenOffice, to do that, you press Shift F4 on your keyboard, and that will put in the little dollar signs, that will make it an absolute cell reference. Okay, and now you can just go copy it down, and it will show you how many days these people have been members. If you wanted to work out how many years they have been a member, then double click on your formula. Okay, go put in brackets around your formula, and then you're going to divide by 365.25. That's how many days we have in a year, and press enter, and then you can just copy that down for the rest, and that will give you an idea of how many years they have been members of this particular club. It's important when working with dates to ensure that your date format is correct. So just make sure that you've actually formatted the particular cells as a date, and you'll see here there's the format that has been used. Okay, now we're going to move over to times, and they had to do a fundraiser, and now we're going to work out how many hours they spent at this fundraiser. And to do this, when you're working with time, you do the following. You start with your equals. You always take your end time, and then you deduct from that your start time. Okay. If you now just press enter, it's going to give you a time format, and you know that this is a time format because of the colons that you see on your screen. So you're not done yet. You need to add something to this. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change the format of the cell. Okay, so I'm going to select right click. I'm going to go to format cells, and I'm going to make this a number, and I'm just going to select the first one here with no decimal places. It doesn't really matter at this point, and I'm just going to select OK. Okay, now don't worry if you see a 0, we're not quite done anyway. When you're working with times, you have to go and specify that a day has 24 hours if you want to see how many hours they've worked. So I'm going to multiply that formula with 24. Okay, so when working with time, you always take the start time, the end time minus the start time, and then you multiply it by 24. Okay, and that will give you how many hours they've worked. Then you can just use the autofill function to copy down